Okay, so, this is going to be a review of Captain America Truth, or as it's better known as Red, White, and... excuse me, Truth, Red, White, and Black. But for sake of argument, I'm just going to call it Captain America Truth. Yes, this is the story of Isaiah Bradley. I guess you could call him the technically first Captain America. The Black Captain America. Now, first off, this comic came from my good friend, Chris. My good friend, the Mount Vernon kid. Chris, I know you're watching this. And yeah, first day of the month. And it's actually kind of funny, just real quick on, like, the story behind, like, how I got this comic. Is literally, like, I was just minding my own business, and I get a message from Chris, and he's like, check your mail. And I'm like, oh, okay. There it is, right on my doorstep. Open this up. He didn't, this is the thing, like, sometimes Chris will tell me when stuff is coming, but other times, he'll just throw shit my way and just, like, wait for my surprise. I swear he does this on purpose. No offense, Chris, but I have a feeling you sometimes just love to just throw shit, like, throw things to me, send things my way and not even bother telling me, just so you can get the expression out of me. Which I imagine is, obviously satisfying, so... Thank you again, brother. Thank you again, brother, because this was really cool. And honestly, he also told me that this is something I didn't know. This comic had never been collected up until now. And when I say now, for reference, the Ta-Nehisi Coates run had been going on. So this is recent. And this comic came out like mid-early 2000s. So just think on that. This comic almost got forgotten. Kind of like the theme of what this comic is. So, yeah. That blew my mind when Chris told me, yeah, this is the first time this comic was ever collected. So, yeah, it was kind of cool to get that. So, anyway, so let's dive right into this. Like I said, this is the origin story of Isaiah Bradley. In this comic, it basically follows Isaiah's story throughout World War II, alongside others who take a prototype version of the super soldier serum and are given enhanced strength, speed, and whatever. But here's the problem: they're African American soldiers surrounded by very, very aggressive and very angry white people, and they have been given a power, an unstable power. Need I remind you that has really just kind of evened the odds and increased that kind of racism. This is a very brutal comic. I don't know if this was part of the... I don't think this was part of the Max line, but I think it was part of the Marvel Knights line. If someone can confirm that for me, that'd be great. I can't... But this was not for kids. This comic was not for kids. There is some really horrible shit that happens in here, and stuff that is, I'm not going to repeat, but you probably know what words were probably thrown with this comic. Isaiah himself is very likable. He's this very much like, I want to serve my country, I want to protect it, and I want to see more of my, more of my nation growing. Like, that's what he really believes, is that he really wants to see, like, his country, like, grow farther than what it is now. And I really like that. I really do like that about this comic, is that it's very much like he's very much like Steve in the sense that he's the optimist. He's this optimistic person, but the other characters are very jaded, there is a lot of character with the others, with the squad of other black super soldiers who all come from other various families outside of Isaiah, and he's the most optimistic, but everyone else is kind of jaded and harmed because of the system that has kind of really beat them down. And sadly, what keeps them beat down in real life, and that's bullshit. What's also fascinating and a little fucked up is that this comic really throws some truth bombs your way. This comic really does throw some truth bombs your way, and this is not like stuff made up for the comic. This is shit that was really real. Like, for instance, did you know that the Nazis got the idea for one of the ideas for their eugenics system, aka the death camps, from a loose idea that the American government had for immigrants and black Americans. Yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing, and it's really fucked up. Yeah. Some other stuff in here that was really... all I could say is that's fucked up, and I can't believe that's real. But sadly, like, that doesn't shock... Like, it shouldn't shock me. That's the bad part. This is very much like a flashback comic because Steve does show up. He is very much in here, but not till the end. This is more like Steve is getting the story from Isaiah's wife. He is getting all of the story from it, and he's appalled. Like, obviously, Steve Rogers is pissed off. And the other thing is, Steve finds out why the real reason Isaiah was arrested and thrown away and blacklisted. Because Isaiah stole his costume. And that was the real of it. Like, not just because he broke rules and whatever, but the big reason was he took Steve's costume. A black man took a white man's costume, and that was apparently enough to throw him away and, you know, make his life hell. This comic's heavy, man. This comic's really heavy. The one thing, though, I do have one glaring issue with this comic. But on the other end of the spectrum, I do understand like why they went with this. Is the artwork by Kyle Baker. The artwork by Kyle Baker is jarring. It's kind of jarring in that it's very like cartoonish. Like, I swear to God, one character in here looks like he crawled out of Ren and Stimpy. Like, one character, and if you get this comic, you'll know what I'm talking about, but yeah, one character looks like he crawled out of a fucking Ren and Stimpy cartoon, and there are some others in here where it's like, man, the angles and whatever really are off-putting. Now, I do understand why they did this, because this was kind of supposed to invoke, like, early African-American comics in the 40s. Like, I did a little research as to why they went with this kind of art style, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it, so I see that, but, like, still, it's kind of, like, being so spoiled on, you know, modern-day artwork, comic artwork, I'm like, okay, the proportions are off, and some characters look fugly as all hell, but alright, I get it. But still, the artwork for me is a little jarring. But the story, I think, carries more than the artwork. Like, I got past the artwork for the story. So, yeah. All in all, Captain America Truth, or the real name, Truth, Red, White, and Black, is an awesome comic, and if you enjoy the character of Isaiah Bradley, either from him from comic history, or you like the character from Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'd say get this. It is a little pricey. It is $25, but this is collecting a 7-issue book. But that's the thing. This comic hadn't been collected until recently, so I would say go check this out. I highly recommend it. And Chris, thank you so much for sending this comic to me. This was awesome. But anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think, if you've read it, Captain America Truth? Do you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you haven't already, hit the link below to my Patreon. Go check out Chris's Mount Vernon Kids Patreon as well. But anyway, other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.